My name is Mike Shahan. I'm the airport director of the Scholes International Airport here in Galveston, and I've been here almost 2 years. I got my first start at Addison Airport in Dallas, Texas. That was back in 1994. This is my fourth airport to work for, so I've been airport manager of 3 airports and a little over 22 years of airport manager experience.
Since its establishment in 1931, the Galveston Municipal Airport has grown to produce hundreds and sometimes thousands of airport operations every month. With jets and helicopters taking flight every day, Mike's top priority is to make sure they start with a solid foundation.
This airport was built back in the World War II days, back in the 40s, and our runways and our ramp it's that old, and that concrete gets hard and brittle and starts to chip and spall, and Mike has done a really good job of convincing the funding sources that we need to get money to fix these things, to keep this going for the next generation of pilots and people that want to fly out of Galveston.
So one of the first things I did when I got here is we had a pavement assessment done. Went to TxDOT Aviation with Dan Buckley, and we asked for funding. So far it looks like it's a little over $9 million in funding over the next 5 years that will basically rehab both runways, all the taxiways, and 80% of the ramp space. And that's probably the first major rehab of all the pavement over a short period of time in probably the history of the airport.
Having a good airport manager, or one that understands the business, as opposed to, say, just a city staffer that came in and applied for the job to manage the airport. And I'm not saying that can't be done, but in this particular case, Mike has history with the Texas Department of Aviation. He has history with the rules and regulations that the FAA puts out, and he understands what's required to make an airport successful and to keep it operating, which is not a small feat considering it's a large piece of property with a bunch of concrete and lights and infrastructure and towers, and all of this stuff has to be put together and has to be funded and maintained. And where do you get that money in a city of our size? Just doesn't have a whole lot of money to spend on that. As a matter of fact, it's an enterprise fund. It can't spend money at the airport.
Although running the airport has its challenges, people are also important to Mike and his staff, and they love to meet with visitors. Many people have pleasant memories of their airport trips, and they want to share that feeling with everyone.
I came home from college one day, and we didn't have fences up at the time. This was well before 9/11. And because of that, you could walk up to the ramp, and this gentleman was pulling out his airplane. It was Dr. McClarty, a longtime physician here in Galveston, and he asked me if I wanted to ride. And he didn't know who I was, but he saw this young 20-year-old something drooling. I'm sure I had dribble all down my shirt, and I absolutely said yes. And from that point on, as an adult, it was one of the highlights of my summer, and I decided I was going to get my license that summer, and I did. Basically, because there wasn't a fence. Now, I understand we have to have fences today, and the fences that we have are in dire need of repair for the most part. And it's another place where Mike comes in handy with his contacts and understanding the grants and being an airport manager with some experience to help get that. But back then, it was really nice just to be able to walk up and talk to people.
We had an airport proposal, which was pretty awesome. He had her fly in from wherever they were from, I don't remember, but he was here waiting for her, and he had rose petals, and he had a guy playing their favorite song on a guitar, and she got out, and he walked up to her, and it was pretty cool.
Mike wants people who land here to see Galveston as the tropical paradise he believes it to be, and works with his staff to accommodate the growing number of people who want to come here.
We have a waiting list of people just waiting to fly in here, and that's more revenue for us. The more hangars we can build, we have the people to fill the hangars, so yeah, that's exciting for us.
The airport is not a drain on the city. Every dollar it spends is a dollar that it makes. That's the first thing, and it's an asset that if it was, for whatever reason, was to be gone, we could never get back. That kind of infrastructure is just incredibly expensive to build from scratch. So we've been given a really, really good opportunity and blessing to be able to have 2 long runways, and with very, very high precision approaches that are akin to what you have at Hobby and Intercontinental. As a matter of fact, we're a reliever airport for them. So that really is nice. You won't see that at Pearland. You won't see that in some of the other regional airports like Baytown, or Ellington obviously has it too. They have very good precision approaches there. But for a local community airport, we have some of the best technology that's available.
You learn something every year. In various airports, you always learn something a little different, and you can, and by attending conferences, you pick up other ideas and stuff. And so, yes, I try to bring that to where I'm working at and try to enhance it. My goal is to improve the airport, keep it self-sufficient, and make it better when I leave than what it was when I got there.